Elon Musk, President Trump, and Doge are all under hot fire right now. So let's get straight to it. Many sources are saying several unions representing federal employees sued the Treasury Department on Monday for granting Elon Musk and non-government agents of Doge access to sensitive personal and financial information of millions of Americans. When I say personal information, I mean name, birth date, home address, banking information, and social security. In their lawsuit, the scale of intrusion into individuals' privacy is massive and unprecedented. People who must share information with the federal government should not be forced to share information with Musk or his Doge. The union continued that by granting Doge access to sensitive information, they violated laws that are specifically made to protect sensitive information, which includes a disclosure to anyone without a lawful or legitimate reason to have that information. The suit seeks an order declaring Musk and Doge's access to Treasury records is unlawful and an injunction barring the department from continuing to permit such access. While this case is still ongoing, it has left questions of why Doge wants people's personal information and why the Treasury Department allowed it. Doge is not a government affiliated agency, so they technically don't have the rights to override a situation like this. But it gets a lot worse. Sources said that on February 1st, personnel from Doge tried to physically gain access into USAID headquarters in Washington, D.C., but were stopped. The Doge personnel had threatened to be let into the building, and if not, they threatened to call the U.S. Marshals on them. Two of the sources said that the Doge personnel wanted to gain access into the USAID security systems and personnel files. Those two sources said the information that Doge wanted to access was classified, meaning only people with security clearances and a special need to know should be the ones to have access. More sources told CNN that in the end, Doge personnel were able to gain access into the headquarters building. Now, this is where Trump gets involved. It was later found out that Trump had tasked Elon Musk to identify where the spending cuts and funding were coming from, which, yes, gives context to why his agency Doge is going out looking for information, but I'm pretty sure there's a more reasonable way it could have been done. Also on February 1st, Trump's administration removed two top security officials, John Voorhees and his deputy, after they both refused to grant Doge access into the building to get sensitive information that was eventually connected to USAID. From that, both of the officials were sent home and placed on leave. USAID staffers were also told in an email Sunday night that the agency's headquarters in Washington, D.C. would be closed Monday, sparking protests outside of the building, which were attended by Democratic politicians and lawmakers. Now, let's break this down a little. The USAID is an independent agency of the United States government that is primarily responsible for giving civil foreign aid and development assistance. They are supposed to find the most helpless and poor areas in the world and give them assistance. It employs around 10,000 people, and most of them work overseas. Now, since Trump has been in office, he has never been a big fan of USAID, especially since they are run by Democratic officials. And he has never been a fan of international funding, which he has said before. And after Doge has tried to get into their headquarters to access private information, Trump and Elon Musk are now looking to end USAID altogether. On Sunday, in response to CNN's report on the situation, Musk said this: USAID is a criminal organization. Time for it to die, he posted on X. He also said, USAID is a ball of worms. There is no apple. And when there is no apple, you just got to basically get rid of the whole thing. Then on Monday on X, while speaking in a public conversation, he said, with regard to the USAID stuff, I went over it with the president in detail and he agreed that we should shut it down. Trump himself had called the organization a bunch of radical lunatics.
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
So, should USAID be shut down, and can it be shut down? I personally don't think they should be shut down, but they should be held accountable for their funding of lately. Caroline Leavitt, a White House press secretary, did an interview stating the problems she's seen with USAID, and she provided documents to prove it.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either.
Now, can it be shut down? Well, technically no. Why? Because USAID came after Congress passed the Foreign Assistance Act in 1961. That law mandated for a government agency to be set up and tasked with administering overseas spending. However, after the DEI spending came out, Trump placed all USAID officials on leave, forced them to close their website, and just recently signed an executive order to put a pause on all international funding for the next 90 days. USAID did speak against this. Democratic Party politicians have called the move illegal and said that it would jeopardize national security. Also, there are rallies that are being held. Hundreds of people have gathered near the Capitol to protest the dismantling of USAID.
Elon Musk has got to go. With this, we are witnessing in real time the most corrupt bargain in American history. Elon Musk contributed, paid over $250 million to help elect Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump is turning over the keys to the Treasury and the rest of the federal government to Elon Musk. We need to end this illegal power grab, and we are going to do it now. We are not going back.
People at the rallies were sharing their thoughts. One said, "We are not in the fight against Ebola. It's only a matter of time before Ebola breaks out of Uganda because USAID is not there." Lenore Flowers from Greenbelt, Maryland said, her friends are directly impacted by the shutdown of USAID and that they are afraid. She said, "I'm here to support the many people who are in a position where they can't advocate because their jobs are in danger and all they can do is hold on to their positions. And at the moment, our democracy is in crisis." So, a lot of mixed emotions are in the air right now. And as of February 4th, 2025, USAID is temporarily shut down and their headquarters is not open. Hopefully, Trump can rethink his decision after he sees all of the millions of people who are affected by this across the world. It's truly just a scary thing to see happening in real time.